Welcome back to my video series about Slovenia. In this video, I'm heading into the Julian Alps to Lake Bohinj. If you missed the first videos in this series and want to learn more about traveling to Slovenia, you should make sure to check those out as well. As I've shown in previous videos in this series, Slovenia is a country with diverse landscapes. I boarded a bus on the coast of the Adriatic Sea in the morning and traveled to a beautiful lake in the Julian Alps by the afternoon. Welcome to Lake Bohinj. I arrived at the lake in the late afternoon after spending most of the day on buses. It is very possible to get around this country without a car, however it can take a bit longer. In this case, I had to transfer buses in Ljubljana, and there was a bit of a wait in between. Anyways, the bus stopped right next to the lake and my hotel was conveniently right across the street. I stayed at Hotel Jezero, which I will talk more about in a little bit. What I want to highlight here is what I had for dinner. There were restaurants in the hotel, but as soon as I got off the bus and into the fresh mountain air, I just wanted to be outside. I walked a short ways up the street to Foxner and got myself a table outside. I am not exaggerating one bit when I tell you this was hands down the most delicious burger I have ever eaten in my life. They're even made with local Bohinj beef. After dinner, I was ready to get some rest for the next day's adventure. But before we jump to that, let me tell you a little bit more about the lake. Lake Bohinj is the largest natural lake in Slovenia and is part of Triglav National Park. When I stepped off the bus from Ljubljana, I was struck with how beautiful and peaceful this area was. I am here in the off-season, but even so, Lake Bohinj is less busy than other popular locations like Lake Bled. People come here to relax or participate in outdoor activities like hiking and kayaking. Swimming in the crystal clear lake is also a popular activity in the summer. In the winter, you can ski and snowboard nearby at the Vogel Ski Resort. The church at the head of Lake Bohinj is the Church of St. John the Baptist. The church was built sometime around the mid-11th century and is one of the most photographed churches in Slovenia. At certain times, you're able to go inside the church for a small fee. It was not open when I was there, so I just explored outside and took in the view of the lake. The next day, I got up bright and early to catch a bus to the other side of the lake so I could start my walk to Savica Waterfall. If you hang around long enough, you'll probably notice a theme. I really love mountains and waterfalls. Or really any moving water. I'm not picky. I made it on the bus and to Yukons, and now I am on the trail to Savica Waterfall, and I'm about literally 2 minutes into it, and I'm already stopping because I don't know if you can hear the water behind me, but let me show you. Look how crystal clear and beautiful this water is. So I'll just give you some quick information while I walk, because I've got a bit of a walk, and try not to fall on my face, there's a lot of rocks. So I was trying to talk and walk, but that's really never a good idea. I'm kind of clumsy. I wanted to give you some more information about Savica Waterfall. So to get here from across the lake where my hotel is and where quite a few other places to stay are, there are a few options. You can either walk halfway around the lake, which adds about an extra hour to the journey, or you can take a bus to Yukons, and that, like I said, cuts off quite a bit of time. But then from there, it's about another hour walk, according to Google, to get to the waterfall. And I don't know if that's to the waterfall or to the entrance of the waterfall, because there's a small fee to get in. In the summer months, though, there is a bus that goes straight to the entrance of the waterfall. And it's May, so that's not running right now, but that's potentially an option as well. But if you decide to take the bus to Yukons like I did and walk, the trail or road that you take is right in front of the bus stop. I think technically it's a road because there's houses back here and stuff, but it was paved for a while. It's not paved anymore. Not a hard walk, truly beautiful. I'm having so much fun and I can't wait to see the waterfall. Savica Waterfall is one of the most visited waterfalls in Slovenia. It's 78 meters tall and the waterfall is in a unique A shape. It's one of the most popular attractions in Bohinj, so getting there early to beat the crowds is something to consider. The entrance fee is €4 for adults and €2 for children. Outside the entrance, there were a few options for snacks and also restrooms. The walk from the entrance to the waterfall takes about 20 to 30 minutes, and I read that there are about 550 steps along the way. Not to mention some breathtaking views. After enjoying the waterfall, I started my walk back towards the lake. To get back, I walked along the main road this time instead of taking the trail that I used that morning. To get back to the other side of the lake, I decided to take the scenic route, the Panoramic Boat. These boats travel across Lake Bohinj multiple times a day in the spring, summer, and autumn. You can buy either a one-way or round-trip ticket. This method of transportation definitely beats the bus, but it is a bit more expensive. One-way tickets are €9 for adults and $5.50 for kids. So originally, my plan was to go hike to Savica Waterfall and then on the way back, stop at the Vogel cable car and ride that up to the ski resort and take in all the views up there. But it started raining, so I decided to take the panoramic boat back across the lake. So I'm back at my hotel, taking a little break and waiting out the rain, although it looks like it just started raining harder, so the rest of the afternoon might be a little bit wet, but it's not gonna keep me inside, just for a little while longer. I thought that while I'm waiting, I might as well show you where I'm staying. So let's do a room tour. With this hotel, I was able to book another single room, which I actually really like. I wish more hotels did this. It's small, but it's just right for one person. I have a nice little sleeping area, single bed, lots of storage, a desk, TV, place for my bags. Back down this little hallway where I just was, there's a small bathroom. Everything is very clean and you cannot beat the location just steps from the lake. But what makes this room extra nice is that I have my own little balcony. It's raining, but I'm gonna go out there anyway. And it has a screen door, so I can just leave this door cracked and get some fresh air before bed. It's actually pretty big. You can see the mountains. Fresh air with rain smells so good out here. So the rain has finally slowed to a point where it'll at least be nicer to walk outside. So I'm gonna head out, and I know I mentioned the cable car earlier, but I think I might save that for tomorrow morning. We'll see what the weather's like. And instead this afternoon, I'm gonna go take a walk around Mostnica Gorge. Hello, Katie from the future here. Spoiler alert, I did not make it to Mostnica Gorge. Why? Mainly because I followed Google Maps and got lost. But also, as I learned later, I started the hike way too late and would not have had adequate time to enjoy it anyways. On the bright side, I got a lot of really cool footage while I wandered around, and I did have a lot of fun exploring even though I didn't end up where I intended. Alright, it's the next morning and my last partial day here in Bohinj, and I'm gonna go try this Mostnica Gorge thing again. I know where I'm going this time, I promise. I know I mentioned a cable car, but unfortunately I won't have time to do that. Also, the weather isn't that great and it's pretty cloudy, and it's a little expensive, so if I go up there, I want it to be nice weather. I'll just have to save that for next time. And I mean that, I will be back. It's absolutely beautiful here, and also now my mom wants to go, so I have an excuse. Mostnica Gorge is a stunning hike where you can watch the crystal clear river flow through the rocks. The hike starts here, in the small town of Stara Fujina. There is a parking lot if you need, and also some very cute cows. It's possible to walk here from Lake Bohinj, but it takes about 30 minutes. If you want to do the entire hike, it's about 7.3 miles, and there is a waterfall at the end. But I think it's worth going no matter how much of the trail you have time to complete. Once you get to the actual trailhead, there is a small fee to use the trail. When I went, it was €3 for adults and $1.50 for kids. The trail is not terribly difficult, but there were some steeper sections. It also began to rain as I made my way along the gorge, which made those sections just a bit more difficult. I was determined to get a bit farther, despite the rain, but just as the rain was getting worse, I came upon a mountain hut with a warm and inviting restaurant inside. It seemed some of the other hikers I came across had the same idea. We all got out of the rain and got something hot to drink. There was even a mountain dog there. The whole place was very cozy and reminded me of my grandmother's house. After finishing my cup of tea, I thought about it, looked at the map, and decided to abandon the plan of making it all the way to the waterfall. It was still raining, and I had more traveling to do that day. I headed back towards Lake Bohinj and got on the bus to the final stop on my Slovenia trip, Lake Bled. Please take a moment to enjoy these cows. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. In the next part of my trip, I'll be heading to Bled. If you liked this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. I'll see you next time. Bye!